Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about perfect forwarding in C++. First of all, let's try to understand the problem we are trying to fix using perfect forwarding. Assume we have a function called f. This function takes two parameters. These parameters of type value reference, and if you overloaded this function with the same parameter but of type value reference, so the target is we are trying to define a function by which we can call any type of data, either value or value, and the proper function should be called. So if I call this function using value, it should forward or call this function. If I call this function using value, this function should be called. First of all, we defined the call function using pass by value parameters a1 and a2, and here in the main function we define two variables a and b. So a and b are of type value, and we call the call function by passing a and b, and we expect in this call the first function should be called, and we expect for this the second call, which has value in its parameter 1 and 1, the second function should be called. Actually, the results are not as expected, or there is two problems here, this implementation. The first one is calling by value will do unrequired copies when I call, so extra copies will be will happen for every parameter. And the second problem is wrong forwarding. In this case, for both calls, the value and value, the first function will be called. So to fix this problem, the first problem, we suggest to replace pass by value to pass by reference in this example. So here we replace the parameter int a to int reference a1, and also int a2 to int reference a2, which is value reference. And the same here, we call ap, and it will call the first function, but call 1 will throw an error because I can't pass constant or value to a function that takes value reference in its parameters. So in the third example, to fix that, we're suggesting to add another call function, or to overload the call function by adding by letting it accept value reference. In this case, call a, call b, call a, b, and call 1 will be okay, but still we have problems. The first problem is here we define two functions instead of one. As we said, our target is only to define one forwarding function. The second problem also is the wrong forwarding is still happening. So in both cases, the first function will be called. It's because here in the when I call 1 even though it's accept the value by value, inside this function a1 will be treated as value. So when we call a2, it will call the first function, not the second one. So how to solve this using perfect forwarding? First of all, in perfect forwarding, you have to define the template classes. So here we have the template and type name T1, type name T2 for each parameter. And here we are defining universal type. This is because it's template. So this now T reference, it's of type universal. It means that it accepts L value and also R value. Here we call the function f, and we use the stdforward function, which takes the T1 type for the first parameter, and also we forward the T2 as is. So stdforward, it says like forward the parameter as I received. If the function here received L value, it will forward the parameter as L value, and if it receive it as R value, it will forward it as R value. So if we call AP is both of them of type L value, and so stdforward will forward them as an L value, and so the first function will be called as you see in the output. And when call 1 this one is of type R value, and stdforward will forward it of type R value, and in this case the second function is called as you see in the output. Note that if you remove the stdforward from here, we will have the first problem, which is calling in both calls. It will call the first function because inside this function, if we pass R value, it will be considered here as an L value, so it's mandatory to add stdforward here. Suppose we have 3, 4, 5 parameters, so we can replace this function with this simple here and type name args. So we only just forward the args to the function f, no matter what the number of parameters. So this is easier way to forward to do the perfect forwarding. So also here, if I call AB, the output will be the first function, and if I call 1 the output will be the second function as expected. So we reach the solution, which is one function that calls multiple functions with the proper API or with the proper parameters. Thank you for watching.